Hey everyone, thanks a lot for joining me. I'm going to show you some things that I'm going to add to my Etsy shop. These are the numbers and letters, and they have already been added. As you can tell, they're rusty by looking at my sheet, but I've got the numbers and I've punched a hole in them so that they're easy to hang. I've put some pictures on Etsy of, like to hang them from gift boxes. They're a neat thing to add with your tag to, hang from a box. I think these would be neat for your Christmas boxes. Maybe hang the numbers, number 25. Of course, I can't find the 2 right now, but I think that would be cool. And these are about 2 inches high by 1.5 inches wide. And they have really pretty resting on them. And the letters, I did not poke holes in those because I was thinking they're smaller. They're roughly 1 inch, I think. Can't remember. The measurements are on the Etsy. But I didn't poke holes in them. I thought they were smaller. You could spell out words, like create or journal. Anything like that would be fun to put on a journal page. Here's one of my journals, just to give you an idea. Put little letters at the base of your page. And then the numbers would look something like this. And even though it has the hole, you could always put a brad there, like a rusty brad, or a flower, or, attach it to something. I used a lot of them on bulb pins. They just are a really neat addition to your junk journals if you're going for the grungy, rustic look. And then I have tea-dyed some more papers. I have some grungy ones that are on lined paper, and they're folio type. They're still connected. This is one that's torn, so of course it won't be in there, but just giving you an example of what it would be. These are grungy colored ones, and like I said, they're lined paper, and they would come in a folio. And there's different colors in here. I think there's some greens and blues. See? And then I have some just normal tea-dyed lined paper that would come in a folio. And these are normal composition size papers. Some of them have a little bit of stenciling, a little bit of stuff that you can see, not stenciling, but like I laid stencils or plastic pieces on them while they were drying. So they have a little bit of design on them. And then I will have just the normal tea-dye papers. But I did lay some doilies and such on, so there are some markings on some of them, like this. And these are a little bit heavier than copy paper. I think they're either 24 pound or 26 pound. I will have that in the listing as well. The numbers are already in the listing, but the papers are not, and hopefully they'll be up by tomorrow, if not tomorrow. These are some scrunched ones. They'll be listed separately because I understand that not everybody wants crinkled up papers, but they're really pretty, really grungy. And these have not been ironed. They are simply pressed. I set something heavy on them, but isn't this one pretty? Anyway, these are the tea dyes. Then I have some colored tea dyes. Now, this is just the tea dye right here. But in this stack, there are other colors mixed in. Like I used distress sprays, and I sprayed them. And I also tried using some flowers, and it left markings on them. Used some stencils. You can see the marks of the flowers on that one. This one has ink on it, distress ink. A little bit of doily on that one. I was trying to find some. This one has some rust water on an accident and some of the distress inks. I was trying to find some that had more colors. Okay, like this one. I don't know if you can tell, but it has some blues in it. That one has... Now this Christmas one here is not going to be in the stack. Sorry for showing that one. But like this has some distress ink. I think this was sage maybe. So that in this stack there will be, even if it's just a small color, they're not just tea dyed. There's other colors that may be on the paper, like this one. And they're really, really a pretty golden color. So I did a lot of dyeing this weekend. Tea dyeing. And then these are tea dyed. And they also have dye on them. So this one has some green and blue. And these are just different markings. I know it's not showing up very well, but I promise you it is. Greens and blues. And they're very pretty. Hopefully the pictures will show them better than my camera lighting is. And they just have really pretty markings on them. And these are just flat. I didn't crinkle these up. And they, again, are on the 8.5 by 11 copy. No, they're a little bit heavier than copy paper. These are done the same way with tea dye and actual dye. And it's the blues and greens, but I scrunched these up, so they have more of a marbled look than the other. And the paper is a lot more scrunched up than the other ones. See, some of them have a lot of coloring in them. This one. A lot of these scrunched ones. So the scrunched ones have a lot of different colors in those. And then the flat ones just have the blue and the green. And then the tea dye with the distress inks just have different things. And there's a lot of stenciling marks. There's a lot of flowers where I used some flowers. And these are strictly tea dye, no other colors. But there are some stencils and fabrics that I use to make the markings on them. And then again, these were the lined paper, and they'll come as a folio, meaning it's one attached sheet. So you're getting a front and a back. You're getting 4 sheets in one folio. So 1, 2, 3, 4 sheets. So you could tear it. I just didn't. I left it whole. And then one more thing. And the last thing I have are these little beauties. They are the mixed media notepads, mini notepads. They will come in a set of 3. And I will try to keep them color coordinated. So these are kind of an aqua and a green. I did want to point out a couple things about them. The eyelets will more than likely be different color. Some of them have 7 pieces of paper, some 8. The reason for that is these eyelets come from different places. And some of them had a longer back than the others, and I felt like some of them were not secure enough. I know it seems dumb that one page would make a difference, but it did. Some of them were not secure enough to carry the full 8 pages, so I just made them have 7. So, again, these are mixed media. I stenciled. I used distress sprays. Here's the backs. And I'm just going to quickly show you them. I'm not going to take a lot of time, but, oops, sorry. Take a lot of time, but I wanted to show you about the eyelets. And also, some of them have a little bit of distress ink on the inside. I liked it because I thought, you know, it's crazy looking anyway. It's mixed media. I just thought it added to the notebook. I guess you would call them Matchbook Notebooks. And that's the back of these. And see, like this one has some blues. They just have a lot of different colors in them. So that was the reason that the eyelets were different. And these are some of the smaller ones. So I'm sure that they have 7 pages. But mainly I wanted to point out that there is some distress ink on some of them on the inside. That they have a different paper count on some of them. All of the paper is this beautiful tea-dyed paper. It has the best texture. It's what I always call the elementary school paper. So it has a really good texture. It's not normal copy paper. These are kind of a purple and a turquoise. Again, the eyelets are all different colors. I'm just trying to quickly show that the insides do have some markings. This one's beautiful. It looks like watercolor. And the papers are pretty. They've got some markings on them as well. I have 2 more sets. This one's more of a orange, peach, and yellow. I guess they're called Matchbook Notebooks is the correct terminology for them. See, this one has some markings on the inside. I love it. And these. And they're kind of a, maybe a barn red and some browns and dark chocolates. Very pretty. And they have lots of good splattering on the inside as well. Some of them, well, most of them do. Some don't, but most of them do. And I did do some stamping on some of them and some mark making. So they're just different types of mixed media. And then also I will be adding, wouldn't these be cute though with the charm hanging, like the rusty numbers hanging from this? Be cool to put in your journals. This is probably my favorite one. I love this one with the letters. And thanks for watching. I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.